Well, friends, here we are once again in a season of not being able to be together and present with one another quite like we want, maybe even need. In Ontario, at least, we've entered a zone of limitations on our gathering and just general community life, in church and beyond. And it has us asking the question, how does this impact our spiritual practices of loving one another well? How do we be present in absence? Is that even possible? How can we help carry each other's hearts when I can't be in the room with you? We think it's still completely possible and actually more essential right now than ever. So for these next few minutes, we're going to experiment with how to be present in absence. So start by grabbing a piece of paper and a pen. Pause the video if you need to. And we're going to make a quick list of the people in our lives who we would normally have some physical togetherness with, but who, for whatever reason, right now we can't. So that could be friends, family, coworkers, church community. What about even more on the periphery of your life? Babysitters or store clerks or restaurant staff. And also consider who in your world was already suffering from an inordinate amount of loneliness and isolation before anything changed. Now, who are your people? Make as exhaustive a list as you can in 30 seconds. Just jot down any name that comes to you. Okay, now this list that you've started is actually going to play into the week ahead with our daily practices if you subscribe to those. But for right now, I'm going to give you another minute to reflect, more slowly and prayerfully now, and try to center down on just one name from that list. So who do you think could most benefit from a little extra encouragement right now? Who do you want to focus on from there? The spiritual practice of encouragement is really simple and really powerful. It's the simple art of noticing and naming that which is good in and to a person. And like the term suggests, it's powerful in its ability to put courage into a person. It's a very real gift that we can give one another, being seen for who we are and reminded of the goodness within us at times when we're maybe prone to lose sight of it. It can knit our hearts together, reminding us that we're not alone, that we're connected to and valued by a strong community of love. It is a way of being present even when we're absent, and we all need that right now. So let's give it a shot. It doesn't need to be some big, long, eloquent novel of profound, life-changing revelation. Just let it be simple. The power's in the honesty of it, not the poetry of it. In fact, I'd say try to come up with just one single sentence, just a tiny note of encouragement to say, I see you, and I think you're awesome because... So it could be something that you admire in them, where you've seen them soaring. Maybe it's where you see them struggling, but you want them to know they're not alone. Maybe it's a simple, you just make me smile. Maybe it's something deeper. You pick the words, just make them true, and put it into one sentence. okay? And now that you've practiced once, let's do take 2. Pick another name from your list and write a sentence for them. You can likely guess what I'm going to say next. Now, find the time to send those sentences over to those people. Maybe you've texted it already this morning. Maybe it's a phone call you want to make this afternoon. Maybe it's a card to drop off at a restaurant or store. Just make sure that you find some way to actually do it. And I know that for some of us, that vulnerable act actually requires its own courage muscles. But I promise you that you will grow courage and love both in them and in you when you do this. Actively practicing encouragement is one powerful way we can help to grow and replicate the heart of Christ among us, even in this season of a little more absence than presence. I would even encourage you to consider making this a daily practice, this one sentence thing. Just throw them out everywhere. The world is needing it right now. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our daily spiritual practice notifications in the app or downloaded the Practice This Week document from the button below the video player, I would just strongly encourage you to consider doing that today, because all of our daily practices this week will actually be geared towards how to creatively be present even in this season of absence.